Hello everyone. Let's talk about the frequency response of an RC low pass filter. So we know that an RC low pass filter is a series combination of R and C such that input is given across this pair of terminals and the output is measured across the capacitor. Here V in and V out are phasors. So the impedance offered by the resistance is R, and the impedance or the reactance, the opposition to flow of current offered by this capacitor is 1 upon j omega c. By simple voltage divider relationship, we can say that V out is equal to V in times 1 upon j omega c upon R plus 1 upon j omega c. So if I define the ratio of V out by V in as a function h, which is actually a function of omega, I can say that V out by V in is equal to 1 upon 1 plus j omega RC. This h of omega is called the frequency response of this filter. Okay, that means if this was a system like this that takes some input and gives some output, I can define the characteristics of the system through this h of omega that tells us what would be the output or what would be the change in the output if the input was of frequency omega. Okay, so it tells us how a system would treat a given signal if it has a particular frequency. Now, since the voltages and the impedances are all phasors, this frequency response, this h of omega, has a magnitude and an angle. That means given any input, say x, I'm defining x as a phasor, which is of the form x angle x. Now, it has a magnitude x and an angle x. If you give such an input to the system, the output would have its magnitude x modified by mod h, and the angle x would then be changed by angle h. Okay. In other words, let there be an input xt, which is sinusoidal. So it's, say, Vm cos omega m t plus theta. So it has an amplitude Vm and a frequency omega m. If I wanted to write the phasor representation of xt, say I call it capital X, that would be some capital V, which is the RMS value of the signal, and say angle is theta. If I give this as the input to this system, the output yt, the output y in phasor would be mod of h at omega m into capital V, and the angle would be changed, the angle theta would be changed by angle of h omega. So if I write it again in terms of a sinusoid signal, this would be something like Vm is changed by h of omega, but at omega m. So magnitude of the frequency response of this filter at omega m, and the angle is now changed by h of omega when omega is equal to omega m. Now, if I draw or plot h of omega with respect to frequency, I find that h of omega for that particular combination was 1 upon 1 plus j omega RC. That means mod of h omega is 1 upon square root 1 plus omega square r square c square, and angle h omega is minus tan inverse omega RC. As omega tends to 0, the magnitude of h omega tends to 1. Now, as omega increases, this term decreases, and as omega is going to tend to infinity, this term is going to tend to 0. So it looks something like this. Angle omega, on the other hand, as omega is equal to 0, this angle tends to 0, and as omega tends to, say, infinity, this angle tends to minus 90 degrees. Somewhere in between, where say omega is equal to RC, this term becomes 1 and angle omega becomes minus 45. If I take a specific example and say, let this resistance be equal to 10 kilo ohm, and let this capacitor have a capacitance 1 microfarad. In that case, RC is 10 milliseconds. And if I now want to write h of omega for different values of omega, so when omega is equal to 50, in that case, h of omega is 0.89 and angle minus 27 degrees. Mod of h is 0.89 and angle is minus 27. When omega is equal to 100, h of omega is 0.71 with an angle minus 45. As omega is 300, h of omega becomes 0.32 with an angle minus 72 degrees. Okay. Now for these frequencies, I want to find the output when input is a particular signal. So let me define input as a signal whose peak-to-peak voltage is say 2 volts. So it is of the form 1 cos omega t. If I want to represent it as a phasor, the phasor would have a magnitude which is equal to the RMS value of this signal, that is 1 upon root 2, say 0.707, and it would have an angle 0. So in the complex plane, this phasor would look something like this. So say this is the real axis and this is the imaginary axis. So this phasor would look something like this. It would have the length, which is the RMS value of this signal, and the angle that it makes with respect to the real axis is 0. Okay, because there is no phase shift in this. It is say cos omega t plus 0. This is the phasor. Now I want to see what would be y if input to this system is this sinusoidal signal. Let us see what would be the output specifically at these frequencies. Okay, so say omega is equal to 50. We just found out that mod h at omega equal to 50 is 0.89 and angle h is minus 27 degrees. That means y would be x but reduced in magnitude by a factor of 0.89 and would have a phase shift of 27 degrees. That means whatever was the amplitude, say 0.707, that is now changed by a factor 0.89, and the angle that was actually 0 is now changed by minus 27. So it becomes minus 27. As a phasor, this is how it would look. And this angle is 27 degrees. You can say that y is lagging behind x by an angle of 27 degrees, and the strength of y is actually 0.89 times that of the strength of x. How would these waveforms look in time? Something like this. So you notice that the waveform in x is cos omega t. If omega was 50, so it is 1 cos 50t. This is the input. If this is the input to that system, that RC filter, the output y looks something like this. Its amplitude is no longer 1. Its amplitude is 0.89 times 1. So it's 0.89. And it has a lag with respect to x, and the lag is by an angle of 27 degrees. So if I look at the trough, say here is where the trough of input signal comes. The trough of the output signal comes after a phase difference of 27 degrees. This is the phase difference in terms of angle. Now remember that horizontal axis is actually time. This is time. That means if the angle is changed by 27 degrees, right? That means omega t is 27 degrees. That is approximately equal to 0.47 radians. If omega t is 0.47 radians, then in t, this difference corresponds to 0.47 upon omega, that is approximately 9.4 milliseconds. So in time, this is approximately equal to 9.4 milliseconds. That's how we can see that why the output is reduced in amplitude by a factor of 0.89, and it is shifted in phase by an angle of 27 degrees with respect to the input. Now what would happen if omega was 100? The magnitude would change by a factor of 0.71 and the angle would change by minus 45 degrees. So here this is the input. The output when omega is equal to 100 has a length 0.71 times the input. The angle by which it lags behind the input is 45 degrees. Okay, so this is how it would look in time. You notice that the amplitude of the output, which is shown in red, is now 0.71 in comparison with the amplitude of the input, which was 1, and the phase difference in angle should correspond to 45 degrees. That means this signal Y, the output, is lagging behind input X by a phase of 45 degrees. For theta to be equal to 45 degrees, pi by 4 radians. That means for omega t to be pi by 4 radians, t would have to be pi by 4 into omega, which is 100 here, which should give you approximately 7.9 milliseconds. This is how these signals would appear on the DSO in your experiments. If omega was now 300, the output would now have a magnitude such that it is 0.32 times that of the input, and the angle of the output would actually lag behind the input by an angle of 72 degrees. Something like this. So you notice that the input had an amplitude from -1 to +1. The output has a maximum amplitude of 0.32. Okay, and it lags behind input by an angle of 72 degrees, and in time this would correspond to approximately angle by omega, that means omega t by omega, 4 milliseconds. So this lag is approximately 4 milliseconds in time, and in angle it is 72 degrees. What you notice is as frequency is going to increase, this lag between output and input can go up to 90 degrees. That means as the input frequency is going to increase, the phase difference between output and input can go up to 90 degrees. But when the phase difference actually becomes 90 degrees, the strength of the output will be actually 0. So this is how this kind of a circuit works as a low pass filter. It allows low frequencies to pass with negligible attenuation, and as you increase the frequency, the strength of the output goes on decreasing, and it also causes a phase difference. The cutoff frequency for an RC circuit is 1 upon 2 pi RC. In radians per second, this is 1 upon RC. Thank you.